It's Friday. It's finally here. Welcome to MLB Prop Picks, powered by the Bat on Cover Shot Shingles. Derek Carty, thanks for joining us here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:15 a.m. The heat is coming, Derek. Coors Field looks like the worst place to pitch in all of baseball today. You're usually not getting any value in terms of props or offense when it comes to Coors and the Heat, but that it might be the first 100 degree temperature game with double-digit winds blowing out.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good there. It's going to be hot. It's Coors. Definitely some stuff I'm monitoring in that game.
Yes, and it's interesting. I believe that's the first game of the series too. So like the Zach Gallen VMI stuff, like first game in Coors is always the tougher one, right?
Yes, because yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good day to everybody there in the chat. Congratulations there. David Ferguson from Indianapolis. Somehow that series goes 7 games. Incredible to see. Some people on the beat would probably just rather it wrap up, but hey, 7 games. Why not? Need the heat to melt these pitchers. And I think that's the edge that you have when that heat comes, JPC fourth, the first game, because conditioning isn't there in terms of heat. I know it's a pretty hard thing to quantify, but that first start where you're not used to pitching in 90 plus degree temperature and having to sweat things out. And he says, yeah, a lot of wind, a lot of stuff blowing out. Yesterday was a weird one. It's been a weird weather week. Lots of rain, lots of wind. But let's get to it. Appreciate everybody there in chat. Be on your best behavior as we get everything flowing there on screen. Looking for projections, head over to covers.com, hit the MLB projections, and go take a look at the new updated free picks page. Every game that even has analysis from the bat. A lot of those projections coming from that side of the things on the I don't want to say non-human side, the non-analyst side, but every game has something there, all driving from the bat projections. This is a release procedure. If you're new to the show, we'll tell you the book. We'll give you a secondary book. We'll tell you the game. We'll tell you the market. We'll tell you the team, the player, and then the over-under, which side we're on. You let us know where it's going. You let us know where you're betting it, because we know that not everybody has the same outs. I'd like to look at Milo's book from like 3 years ago when this thing started. 4 years. Is it 4 years ago? I was thinking it was the Croatia year. So
I think so.
This is our 4th. Yeah. So this is our 4th. So Milo's been around. Lots of these guys have been around. Reed too. Interesting to see where their accounts are after 4 years later. It's just, it's sad that, yeah, account longevity is always a tough thing. Free picks page has some hidden gems like players with a high pinch risk. Yes. Pinch hit risk is one of Derek's best. Like, I don't think anybody's out there really doing it. Accounts are dead from my yeah. Yeah, that's what I figured. I think you were complaining in year 1 or year 2 that you were getting down almost nothing at some spots anyway. It's a grind. Let's get to it. Hopefully we get these numbers. We did lose a Matthew Boyd under strikeout, was plus 125, 128 at Bet365. That got smashed to plus 105. That's going to be a hot one with the wind blowing out, I believe, in Wrigley. I think that's going to be a tough pitcher spot.
Yeah, I agree. That one would have been nice to get, but price is important.
100%.
You see so many analysts out there being like, I like Matthew Boyd under or whatever it is. It's like, okay, well, what's the number? What's the number you like it at? Because plus 125 is very different than even money or minus 110 or wherever this thing is headed. And you really have to be sensitive to that if you want to be a profitable bettor.
CBK, hey, gents, good to see you there. Nick Porto says the weather info on covers is great. Used to just co-pilot for wind direction. That's where I start before I do anything with baseball, even look at the markets. That's the first spot I look. And then as soon as I see some POP, some percentage of precipitation, that's when I jump over to Roth and see where his analysis is on how much rain, when the rain is coming, if it's a delay, if it's late in the game, because just seeing the precipitation doesn't really do it. You need to know when it's coming. And the early stuff, the middle stuff is the worst, because if it's early, you're like, please just delay. But that's my best judgment in terms of what you can do. And if you really want to get crazy, the covers projections has it in there, but windy.com is by far the coolest wind direction thing that exists, especially for football too, because it gets you to show you like the satellite map of the parks. Let's get to the plays. We are at Bet365 for the first one. Hard Rock DraftKings 10 points shorter. This was a good one. Guardians versus Athletics. And it's not 100 degrees in Sacramento. Does Sacramento get hot? Or is it more like San Francisco that doesn't get too hot?
No, it gets hot. It's going to be like the hottest park in baseball this year. That and the Tampa Bay Park. They're both going to be very hot as we get into the summer.
Okay, Guardians, Athletics. Let's go. Pitcher walks. Hey, look at that. Friday. We get Friday numbers. Jeffrey Springs, under 1.5 walks allowed, plus 125 here. Jeffrey Springs, under 1.5 walks allowed, plus 125. I know there are plus 115s out there. Is that still a buy in the spot? I know this is showing a lot of value.
Yeah, let me take a quick look. I think we're probably still okay at 115. Yeah, that's
you have
fine
this better
there.
than a coin flip, right?
Yes, this projects 57% winner, so plus 115 is certainly fine. Plus 110 is okay. Beyond that, I'm probably being hesitant with it, but Springs is a guy who historically has had really good control, hasn't really been as great this year, but it has been getting better over his last few starts. A lot of his issues were more earlier in the season, and he is coming back from injury. So, you can certainly build the case that, he just kind of needed some time to shake off the rust. And he's facing a low walk Cleveland team here. Not the lowest, but definitely a low walk team. And so this one projects pretty well.
Yeah, I have kind of the same thing. Cluster walks early in the season and then back-to-back 0 walk outings. And it's just a couple seasons removed from 125 innings pitched, 33 walks. So I think that's a better example of where his control is versus maybe some early stuff where he said he did get a break from it. So hopefully that's some fixed stuff. Yahtzee asked a question, does good hitting weather indirectly increase or decrease walks? That's a good question. I don't know if you got the answer off the top of your head.
I'm pretty sure I have it in the bat. I think it works the opposite way of all the other hitting stuff.
Good hitting weather decreases walks?
I think so, but I could be wrong. I'd have to go in and check.
That would be the best case, I think, in how I would kind of look at it, right?
Yeah.
Guys more aggressive at the plate, more swings, better weather. That's what I think.
I think that's what it is. But don't quote me on that.
Scooble finally had some walks, he says, yesterday, but it took a crap load of rain to cause it. Yeah, it's early delay in that game. I believe his total was 0.5, so it's not like anybody. I mean, you could have altered it as over 1.5, which is probably plus 200.
Yeah, you probably could have. One more thing with Springs that I'm digging in a little more. Location plus is kind of noisy. I don't really reference it ever or that much, but I think in this case it's kind of illuminating. In his first 9 starts, he had a location plus that was above average twice. In his last 6 outings, it's been well above average. It's been very, very good in 4 of them. So I do think for a guy like this, where we're trying to look for signs that like maybe there was rust and it's, he's kind of getting back to normal, especially when his normal was that really good, location and command. I think we have some good signs working in our favor here for Springs.
Yeah, when I filtered under walks at plus money today, the choices were Springs, Baz, and I believe Brady Singer. And Springs looked infinitely better than those other two whose walk numbers are terrible and look to be continually terrible.
Yeah.
Seeing some movement there. Appreciate it from David. DK dropped from plus 115 to even money in about 20 seconds. Interesting. Chris McCauley saying it dropped plus 105 on 365. So substantial. I didn't know there was that much variance in the walk market at 20 points in a movement. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I feel like it's moving more substantially and quicker this year than it has in years past.
Just give me those plus 175s. That's all. I'll live all day on the over-under plus 175s at 1.5. And our boy,
75.
Miastrowski, the guy we can't pronounce, who people keep telling us how to phonetically say his name in Milwaukee. He goes again today on extra rest, probably a longer leash than he did in his last game where he rolled his ankle. Again, his 2.5 walks over, big plus money as well. There you go. Milo's already bet Naylor walks. Naylor walks, seen in the chat, plus 340 in that 340 range. For Mr. Gerd, good to see you here today. Houston, LA, we're back at 365, but same price at DraftKings. Oh, was there a Naylor hit yesterday? Was there a Naylor walk yesterday? Of course there was.
Yeah, there was.
You absolutely smashed the projections on the Angels-Yankees game yesterday for home runs. If you didn't notice, I think everybody who popped hit one.
Yeah. Trout, Ward, there were some good ones yesterday.
Trent Grisham.
Grisham, I definitely had some of.
Let's go Houston, LA. Let's go pitcher outs. $160 still there. Let's go Hunter Brown under 17.5 outs plus 160. Hunter Brown under 17.5 outs plus 160, 365. I believe it's at DraftKings. Let me know in the chat. We haven't seen much of Hunter Brown pop up here. Last year, we tried to pick on him. He hurt us last year. What adjustments have you made with Hunter Brown coming in from last year?
So he looks better than he did last year, certainly. The stuff plus is up. The velocity's up a little bit. Obviously, the strikeout rate is up. But he has a 1.88 ERA. Like, there's no chance he's an ERA guy. Like, he's just not. He's more like a mid-threes, like a 3.5 ERA kind of guy, probably. And I think once we start to see some of that regression hit, he's going to stop being so efficient. He's going to stop completing 6 innings so frequently. And plus 160 is a big, big number. Like it just is. I lost my train of thought. I had something else to say about him. Just that like his BABIP is so low. It's 254 and his left on base rate is 87%.
Ooh.
Once he actually starts giving up hits, which he's going to, nobody keeps a BABIP that low. He's going to have to face more batters. The pitch count's going to get run up more. All these things are going to work in our favor as Hunter Brown starts to regress. Hopefully today. You never know, but I think we're in a pretty good spot with Hunter Brown today at the number that we're getting, especially against an LA team that I think is a pretty good offense, like way better than people give it credit for.
All right, so David brings up the point I had another under out today that I hit, and I could only get 60 on a $100 bet. The exact same thing. It's only DraftKings just on this prop will limit you somehow to 60% on some random out props. Not all of them. And I think it's probably more unders than it is overs, but going to review. There's nothing cool about your bets going to review.
No.
I miss being surprised by getting limited. That's actually really funny.
Yeah, it is.
It just reminds me of the meme of like James Franco getting with the noose around his neck, looking at the guy beside him saying, your first time when someone gets all excited about getting limited. They can do that. Oh my God. You're like, yeah, they can do that. As bettors, but like there is a point. Like as bettors, do we have the right to bet at a book?
Yes, we do. Come on.
I know we want to think we do, but we don't. We don't have the right.
We should have the right. Especially if their marketing is come win all this money by betting. Okay, yeah. Like you can't have it both ways.
I know the marketing message is very detached from the actual reality, right? Like the marketing department and the risk department are like two departments in a sports book that absolutely despise each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't think we deserve it. And I think that's what gets people F them rights. There it is. That's exactly. I can't even parlay this bet. Milo just sits there and we need Milo just so everybody else feels good about where their situation is for account longevity. Yeah. Yeah. You thought you had it bad. Have you talked to Milo yet? All right, let's get a plus money home run in the books here. We're at DraftKings. Where does he go? Oh, Bet River, sorry. Here's enter Milo saying you can bet 35 cents. But same price at MGM though too, and Entain, and then 25 points off at DraftKings. Sox, Jays. Had a person I've done some content with throw out the first pitch of the Jays game yesterday. So shout out to the Gate 14 podcast guys, Avery and Johnny. He threw a pitch because there was two guys, so they couldn't go on the mound. Johnny threw a pitch, and he's a baseball guy, where Ernie Clement had to jump up and dive to catch the ball. Like he almost injured Ernie Clement. And then he got a message. I forget which Jays player sent him the message. It's just a screenshot of his phone where it just says, the bright lights aren't for everybody, Johnny. So shout out to having to throw first pitch. That can't be an easy thing. Home runs. Going on the visiting side. And the only bat that you want to trust probably in this lineup, Miguel Vargas. Vargas at plus 575.
Vargas is clearly their best hitter.
Did Clement break his hit streak from David? Did Clement snap a hit streak after trying to catch Johnny's ball too? That's funny.
Really?
Vargas plus 575. I believe it's 550 at DraftKings. What is your insight in what the hell the Jays are going to do, right? They're going Spencer Turnbull today, and no one knows if it's going to be an opener. No one knows if it's going to be one time through the order or traditional. There's a lot of question marks in terms of what the Jays are doing with their pitching.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to be more traditional, maybe not like a 90-100 pitch outing, but Turnbull was being built up as a starter in the minors. He's been used out of the bullpen a little bit since he's gotten called up, but he's still probably stretched out enough to go, I forget what the bet has him at, probably 75, 80 pitches, something like that. I don't know, it looks like that I have him at about 70, 71. So something like that probably for Turnbull. It's possible we just do the one time through the order thing, but I don't think that's the most likely outcome here. I think Turnbull is certainly exploitable. I think the swing planes kind of match up well for these two. And this park is just, I still think the books are kind of underrating the home runs in this park.
Interesting to see if it's open today. A little bit of rain maybe this weekend. Not sure, but we'll wait and see. Vargas for a home run 575. Amelo 95 saying plus 500.
It is almost 80 degrees there today, so open would be nice.
Yeah. 500 DK, so that did move 50 points since the start of the show because it was 550 at DraftKings. So obviously the market going that way. A little question from JPC4 at the top. Any thoughts on Kershaw to record the win versus an awful Nats team at plus 160? It's got to be a hard market to price, right?
It's got to be a hard what?
Market to price. Pitcher to record the win.
Yeah. Plus 160 is probably pretty good. I'm looking at the bats projection here. So it has him for a mean expectation of 0.43 wins on average. Which when you convert that to a probability is going to be a little less, but plus 160, you're probably getting some value on that.
Uh-oh. I smell a new I smell a new tab in 2025, the 2026 season, Derek. It's all right there, right? It's all in your raw data anyway, right?
Yeah, it is. I've been trying to get Yuga Analytics to add that as a market, but they still need to figure out kind of all the modeling math of the distributions and everything.
Nice. I like it. It would be a fun one to get going. It's actually a really fun market to play. Like there's so many gears involved in it. You're like, okay, I need this pitcher to do well. Okay, now I need the offense to give him some run support. Okay, he's gone 5+. Now I need the bullpen to go. It's a roller coaster of a ride, and that's what I mean. But it's also a roller coaster ride at plus 160, at plus 220. Milo saying Novik has 525 for Vargas. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3. Jeffrey Springs underwalks at plus money, leading things off, followed by Hunter Brown at big money plus 160, under 17.5, and then Vargas plus 575. Home run versus Jays on the road. Freed plus 155 for the win against Sugano today. Baltimore's not good. What happened to Baltimore? Did you see Baltimore? This happening to Baltimore? Weren't they on the projection of being an elite team?
I didn't have them as an elite team. I think I had them preseason maybe projected for like 83 or 84 wins or something.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see them being like this. But I've never been like a huge like, yes, Baltimore is definitely legitimate kind of guy. I've always had some skepticism.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get the Rockies. Why am I silly? Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen has a 17.5 out total in Colorado today, which is something to look at if you're looking to take advantage of that weather. Their staff is not good. No, the Baltimore staff is absolutely butt cheeks. That's how we refer to it on a Friday. But Friday's in the books. I am off for 2 weeks. Joe is going to be taking over. Joe Osborne will be substituting next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:15. It's going to be a tough day to focus when there's so much time to not do anything over the next run. But it's baseball. We got one afternoon game at Wrigley, some wins, so be careful out there. Lots of heat. Let's see how it affects the pitchers. 3 plays in the books. Appreciate everybody this week. As always, everybody there in the chat, thanks for being there. Josh Ingles, Derek Carty, MLB Prop Picks powered by The Bat on Covers. Don't forget to head over to Covers. Check out that new free picks page. Lots of stuff there. Every game got you covered. We'll see you back here Tuesday, 9:15 a.m. Have a great weekend.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.